So here we have the trauma responses. What you guys heard me mention earlier was the concept between fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Now, the irony was when I was as I was looking into this, it seems like there's another one added. One thing I've learned is that Oyibo people like to name things. There were no rest. Everything has to have a name, everything has to have a title. And sometimes it's like just keep it simple. But ideally, these the first primary three that we used to talk about were fight, flight, and freeze. And recently, it seems like they added fawn. So fight is when our body is getting up to protect us. Like it's getting ready to go into protector mode. It's getting ready to push back or stand its ground. Fight would be like a mom who grabs her child to protect them from a dog lunging at them, right? Or a dad who sees somebody walking up to his family and he's like, okay, what are you going to do? Like, let me prepare myself because if we have to fight, I'm ready. That's what it may look like. Flight is like we're looking for ways to get away from the danger. We're looking for ways to escape it, right? We want to, physically or sometimes even emotionally, we want to get out of that situation. So don't hate me for using this example, but for my men, it's like when your wife starts nagging you, you don't want to hear the nagging, so you'll find a way to come up from the house. That would be a good example of like flight. You don't want to get into an argument with her. She's right, and you're like, I beg, let me go. When I finish, I'll come back, right? Or it could be like a student that's like, you know what, I keep having issues with this teacher. I'm just going to check out. I'm sitting in class, but I'm not really present because every time I speak to this teacher, it's like they attack me. They just don't seem to get it. For our people in our profession, as people that work alongside mental health, when we see this stuff every day, we check out after a while. It's almost like we become numb to it. Because imagine every day you're seeing people talk about death, dying, being sick, or you're in the communities where you're seeing this firsthand. It's a lot. So sometimes our brain and our body almost has to turn off the light switch, right? Like NEPA, take lights. That way, if it seems like nothing is being registered, realistically, it's still being registered in our system, but it's just being registered in a different way. Then the other piece is freeze. This is when the body hits pause. It's like a shutting down, or it's like, okay, when the words don't feel right or things don't feel safe, it's kind of like you just freeze in motion until things get going. So this would be, for example, if you saw a car accident and you're just like stuck, people are like, oh yeah, move now, what are you doing, move, and you can't seem to move, right? You're just in shock, you're surprised, you're not quite sure what's going on or why it's going on, right? These are the things that may be happening. So that's freeze. And then fawn is when you have that we're trying to keep the peace, so we're just people pleasing. It's like, I beg, don't worry, oh yeah, let's do the one you want to do, right? Or if you are discussing with somebody and you know the person is not the type to back down, you just allow them. Sometimes even for other people it might be like, I'm in a dangerous situation, I don't feel safe, but in order for me to get out of the situation, I just have to give the person what they want. And that is where you're like, I'm agreeing to keep the peace by giving into whatever it is that you're asking for. I'm ignoring what it is I want, what it is I need, in order to give you what you want so that things can just keep going or we can get out of this situation as fast as possible. So, what I want you guys to take away from this is understanding that these responses are not random. Like, this is literally our body's automatic nervous system response when trauma occurs. And that if it is doing this to protect us. We can't turn off our body wanting to run away from a situation when it feels like it's under threat, because our brain has conditioned us to understand, okay, there's a bear coming. Oh yeah, run. Okay, there's a fight happening over there. Don't run to the fight. Get away from it. I think you mentioned that there was a police captain here, the professor that teaches in that space. Imagine what you have to teach your law enforcement individuals. They have to run to situations that are unsafe. They have to actually stand up and in those spaces. So you have to condition them to retrain their brain to not run away when they see something bad. To be able to go to that space and still help people. As mental health workers, we have to condition our brain to, when we see a crisis, not run the other way, not be ready to fight somebody. We have to be able to stay stable and calm and grounded so we can support that person that is in front of us. So we just want to understand why our body reacts the way that it's reacting. And then honestly, be able to acknowledge that, because it's happening for a reason.